Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Coach the Coach Radio. Brought to you by the Business RadioX Ambassador Program, the no-cost business development strategy for coaches who want to spend more time serving local business clients and less time selling them. Go to brxambassador.com to learn more. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of Coach the Coach Radio, and this is going to be a fun one. Today we have with us Paula Shepherd with the Courage Blueprint. Welcome, Paula.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about being here.
Well, I'm excited to learn what you're up to. Tell us about the Courage Blueprint. How you serving folks?
So the Courage Blueprint really started as a means of helping people to get out of their own way. After 20 years in corporate, for me, it was about building a business that I always wanted to work for. And that meant not serving people on my own, but really having people and their unique talents and zone of genius coming together to create something really beautiful that inspired and helped other people to live out their dreams and their passion.
So what's your backstory? You mentioned corporate, but what roles did you have in corporate?
Yeah, so I spent 20 years in corporate America. I did start in nonprofits and, of course I loved my job, but I didn't make a lot of money. So I did what everybody did, right? I chased the dream of having a bigger income. And in corporate America, I eventually climbed the corporate ladder and was a corporate leader. And so I was managing other people for a Fortune 500 company in a smaller office. And it wasn't always the best environment, right? There was a lot of toxicity and a lot of seniority and patriarchy kind of played into that space. I was the only female manager in that location, and I was only one of 5 females on the program that we were serving. So it was really difficult to feel like your voice could be heard and to also feel like there were certain standards that had to be met in order for it to be important enough for you to speak up.
Now, when you were going through that, were you getting coached at the time? Like, when did coaching kind of become a thread in your career?
Yeah. So this is such a fun story. I'm really glad that you asked, because the first time I hired a coach, I really honestly didn't know what I was doing. I had gone to a networking event and it was filled with entrepreneurs. And I just looked at them with such like loving, inspiring, envious eyes because I was in corporate and I hated my job, but I couldn't get out of it because I was literally making so much money. And as the breadwinner in my family, I couldn't get out. I was holding the benefits. I have 4 kids and I just felt really trapped. So someone introduced me to a career coach. And to be quite frank with you, I thought that the career coach was going to revamp my resume and help me find another job. And what actually happened was something so much more profound. During the course of our working together over a few months, she actually said, "Hey, I don't normally do this, but I think that you're a natural coach. Have you ever thought of becoming one?" Well, of course, I didn't even know what that meant. So I did what I do best and started digging into the details. And I wound up signing up for a program and thought, of course, I need to have this coaching certification. I want to be the very best coach for my clients. And after that, I really drew a line in the sand about when I was going to be done with my job. And it was for about a year later that I had said, okay, by August 31st of 2020, this was pre-pandemic, of course, I'm going to leave my job. And I wound up doing it. And all because I hired a coach that I thought was really actually going to do work for me. I started doing the work for myself, got my certification. I am ICF certified and now credentialed. And in July of the beginning of July of 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, I left my job. And I actually gave my notice in May of 2020. So it was really, honestly, kind of an interesting story. I put my blinders on and realized that I was going to make this happen no matter what.
Now, are your clients people like you started not ever having a coach and maybe not really understand what a coach can and can't do? Or are they people who have had coaches and are now, just trying another one?
When I first started, it was more of me educating people about what being a coach really meant. And I was bringing in some new people. Now I have people either starting businesses, people who have been in business for about a year and have made a little bit of money, but really haven't made a ton of traction and are ready to give up. And then the third group of people that I work with are people who have worked with other coaches, in particular around business, and honestly felt like they were wronged or bait and switched, and didn't feel the support or that they were treated as a unique individual. So those are really kind of the three types of people that I serve right now in my business.
Now, when you started, did you start out with this vision of, I'm going to be this business confidence coach, I'm going to be a brand voice strategist? Was that clear to you at the beginning, or was that something that's evolved?
It has evolved because, we all kind of start out and we don't really realize our strengths because they're built into us. We have this unconscious expertise and we're running on autopilot. So for me, it was about people being able to be confident enough to apply sales and marketing to their business. But more than that, it was all about emotional intelligence and helping people learn how to network with other people to build and leverage relationships, not in an icky way, but in a really genuine way, because it came so naturally to me. I didn't really realize that that's what I was doing in my business. So as over time, it's gone from really focused on helping people become more confident to this evolution in a program of really understanding who you are, aligning with that, which then develops your confidence, and then building your business in a way that feels really, really good to you. And then being able to shout that from the rooftops. I like to call it using your outside voice so that you can learn and grow and develop relationships with people who always have your best interest at heart.
Now, do you find that people kind of forget that? I think that this is a phrase that you use, that we're humans serving other humans, that that things aren't as kind of black and white and just very machine-like. That we're just human beings we're all just grinding. We're all just trying to get through the day and do the best we can. And we're looking for other people like that to have those kind of authentic relationships so I can learn what you need, you learn what I need, and we can see if it's a fit and we can help each other. Where some people are like, well, I have this persona I got to get in front of, and I got a machine that gets me in front of this. And they look at it almost like a machine and not human beings to human beings.
Yes. And I think that kind of, over the course of the last year, when a lot of people have, they lost their jobs, so they were getting into online businesses. A lot of the coaching industry blew up. A lot of people were getting into coaching without even really understanding what that meant. And you had people that really didn't have the experience coaching other people in cookie cutter ways to essentially do the same thing that they were doing. But what was happening was people were losing themselves in that because it became about making more money and not about their vision, their purpose, their mission, and why they were doing it in the first place. So people that wanted an online business so they could then have more freedom to spend time with their family actually were now spending less time with their family and feeling much more disconnected from themselves. I do think that there's a little bit of a shift right now happening in the industry, but I also do feel like so many people have been in really unfortunate situations with these programs that have promised things that really were never in alignment with them, or sold them into things using psychological manipulation, and didn't really treat them as human. That there's a lot of concern when people are now, when they come to me or when they go to other coaches, about whether or not they are going to have success. Right. And so the leaning in on the relationships and helping people really see and serving them in a way that makes them feel and not in a manipulative way, but makes them feel like the person that they are, is incredibly important. It is to me and to the people that I surround myself with as well.
Now, is that something that you have to work with your clients on, really maybe identifying what their superpowers are, trusting those superpowers and building their service or business around those superpowers rather than kind of pushing them away or ignoring them and focusing on other things that they think are more business friendly or more relevant to business?
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of both in there, right? Because as a coach, it's not my job to tell someone what to do. It's my job to ask them pointed questions to help them come to their own conclusion. So I take a holistic point of view and I really do look at the whole person. And if they have an idea, I want them to really look at it and decide if that's really what they want to do, or if they're doing it because they've consumed something either on social media in an article that has made them question the way they're going about their business. Maybe they think that it's not going fast enough. So there's opportunity there for them to discover more of who they are and to become really the person that they were always meant to be. And in that is a lot of deconditioning, where they came from. So maybe it's, things from the past. Maybe it's, that corporate mentality or that 9-to-5 mentality, and helping them to learn how to ask themselves the same questions so that when I'm not around, they're still moving forward.
So now let's walk us through what an engagement with you or somebody on your team looks like. Like, what is the pain I'm having where Paula and her team are the right solution, number one. And number two, once we have a conversation or decide this is a good fit, what is some of the things that you ask your clients to do? What's some of the homework or some of the kind of the early interactions look like?
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing that we do and we really identify, because when we're talking to people, we're really pre-qualifying them, right? This isn't about selling them on our service. This is about making sure that they're right, because we have a very curated community. We're serving less people in a more meaningful way. And so what I want to do is find out, what's been stopping them from starting in the first place, or what's been stopping them from showing up as themselves. Most of the people that we work with are really nervous about putting themselves out there, about being the face, about taking up space. And those are the people we want to work with. But they also have to be ready and willing to identify who they are and start to take really uncomfortable steps forward, not jumping in a cesspool full of snakes, but, finding what's that one thing. If they don't want to do video on social media, are they more comfortable being a guest on podcasts? Are they more comfortable sharing their voice in another way? And what is their message? So the people that we're working with are really not comfortable being in the spotlight, not comfortable taking up space, don't see themselves as the expert. And it's about digging out those stories for them. I think the second part of your question, remind me what that was, because now I've gone off on a tangent here.
Well, I'm just trying to get a feel for when someone, when you and the prospect say, you know what, this is a good fit. I'm trying to give them a taste of what it's like to work with you. And it sounds like it's very interactive, collaborative, and you're not looking to sell anybody anything really. You're just trying to find out if it's a good fit or not.
Yeah, that's the first step. And then once they are in our program, so we have one signature program, Elevated Voices Academy, and it's a 6-month engagement. It is a high value hybrid. So it is a combination of both one-on-one experience with myself and support coaches. And then also some group community engagement. So there's, office hours for them to come to and really get to integrate. We also have a private community completely off of social media for them to collaborate and get accountability and really share and learn how to step into their own power and their confidence in a space that feels safe at first. And so it's very highly curated for that reason. We want to make sure we have the right fit and people. And we're only bringing in 5 people every single month. We don't take any more than that because we care very deeply about developing a relationship and not kind of grinding people through the machine. It is a very bespoke process. So it's all about identifying who you are. It's a 5-step process. We go through 5 voices. It's inside voice, passive voice, active voice, conversational voice, and outside voice. And there's a variety of different things that happen through there, but it all starts with self-discovery and really understanding, believing who you are and being able to describe yourself in a way that's not a role or a way that you care for someone else. And so hopefully that answers your question, but it is such a personal journey for so many people, depending on where they're starting and honestly, their mindset as they're beginning the process.
And so the service is kind of a group coaching service. It's not like one-on-one with you by yourself.
Yes, it is. It's a hybrid one-on-one and group. So there's opportunity to have both one-on-ones with myself. There's a one-on-one call with my human design expert and alignment coach. And then we also have a copywriter that is on our team who provides feedback so that when people are writing in their own voice, that they can just get better at doing that. So we have a variety of team members to support because, again, like going back to the whole courage blueprint concept is I wanted to build a business that was the business I always wanted to work for, which was allowing other people to shine in the talents that they have and helping people to learn how to do things without leaning into a template.
And if somebody wanted to learn more about the program, what's the website? Yeah,
so you would just go to thecourageblueprint.com and click on Work With Me. All the information is there to learn more about the program, to be able to connect with us, and to check out options to be able to enroll.
And it's the word "the" is at the beginning of that, right? It's thecourageblueprint.com.
That is correct.
And then your podcast?
Yeah, so my podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, anywhere that podcast can be found. And it's called The Confidence Sessions. And I have both solo episodes that are bite-sized, easy to digest, and also amazing guests to help people do anything from learn how to start running ads, to creating amazing copy, to building relationships.
Good stuff. Well, congratulations on all the success, Paula. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity, Lee.
All right. This is Lee Cantor. We will see you all next time on Coach the Coach Radio.